Hello and welcome to Behind It All. I am your host, Sunny Perry. Now, I was going to take a completely different path with this episode until I met Penny Harris. Now, I met Penny Harris and she told me that she was a security officer. Now, I know that I have misconceptions of what a security officer does and their contribution to society. So I knew that I had to take all of you behind it all with Penny Harris to show you and to remove any misconceptions that you might have about a security officer and what they do. Now, also, I'm hoping by you watching this episode that you'll have more of appreciation for what they do for our community and our children. So guys, without further ado, I want to introduce to you Penny Harris and go behind it all with the position of a security officer. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Hi, my name is Penny Harris. I'm a District 51 Safety and Security Officer. I'm going to take you behind it all and hopefully remove any misconceptions you may have.
What would you say to people that say that security officers for schools are not cops? They are just security officers.
Well, our current role is is a security officer position. The majority of the officers that work in the school district right now have extensive law enforcement background. We have one that was an undersheriff for 19 years. We have one that ran a prison. We have one that worked sex crimes in law enforcement position for 6 years. Everybody has some form of law enforcement background. The beauty of it is that we can use that background and we can use that experience and help us better perform our jobs that we are doing today. We are fortunate enough to have a Monday through Friday job, and I think that's somewhat of the appeal that brings us to the job. Plus, most of us have a passion to work with children, and that also allows us the ability to work in some form of a law enforcement capacity with the kids, educating them, building those positive relationships with them. That's something that we're all passionate about, but most of us do have that law enforcement background. We're just not currently working for an agency that allows us to have arresting capabilities.
Okay, so talking about background, what is your background, Penny? I want them to know who you are and where your journey started.
I'm a non-traditional student. I initially wanted to join the military out of high school, but I was rejected because I had asthma, so I had to think, what do I want to do from here? From there, I was interested in law, so I was headed towards being an attorney. Decided that wasn't for me because there were an abundance of attorneys, so I did not seek that route. I went back to school and sought my degree in criminal justice. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I also did some additional studies in the area of psychology and sociology because I thought being able to understand how the mind works and social backgrounds, it really influences a person's actions and behaviors, and it helps me better understand where people are coming from. I thought that would be extremely beneficial in the field of law enforcement. So I did take some additional studies in those areas as well. I also did the Peace Officer Standard and Training course, which is the law enforcement courses that are offered through CMU. So I am post-certified, and that allows me to work in a peace officer position. So I just received a call from a school who is needing some assistance with a parent whose child is being asked to leave for the day, who has some behavioral concerns, and they are just seeking some assistance to help inform the parent that this child's not going to be able to be at school for the rest of the day. So we're going to head over there and assist them as they need. Okay. Sounds good. I'll go see what I can do. Thanks, guys.
Now, I was unable to take the cameras behind the scenes on any of the phone calls that she was called on at the schools, but I can tell you firsthand that being able to go behind it all with Penny gave me a newfound appreciation and understanding and removed any of the misconceptions that I had for security officers. They develop a deep relationship with our counselors, our teachers, and they work with them in order to provide a safe environment and to help the children grow. So guys, I hope that by watching this episode that you can understand what goes on behind the scenes as a security officer is walking through those doors. They're not there just to implement structure, but to implement a safe place and to offer a safe person that these kids can go to.
So we are at West Middle School. It is their lunch period. I like to come to schools during their lunch periods because it allows me the time to kind of speak with the kiddos, and they get to know me, they get to see my face, they get used to me, helps me build relationships with them. Therefore, if they need anything, they feel comfortable coming and talk to me. And if anything were to ever happen or occur, that I'm a familiar face, that they would already have that relationship and that trust built with, that they can come to if needed. So I think lunches are a great time to be able to build those relationships, and it also allows me some downtime to talk to staff and build a relationship with them as well. So we're gonna go talk to some kiddos, see how their days are going. They got a reaction.
Not really.
But did you see it come back? So they did get a reaction in, right? Empower yourself by turning this off sometimes. This doesn't always need to be running. You'll learn. You'll learn. Where are you going? Did you get permission? I love these gifts. I'll hug every one of them. If they want to give it to me, I'll reciprocate. I think it's important that they have that emotional response when they ask for it, that they're given it, and that the badge doesn't make me a mean person. I still like to hug. At the end of the day, they're still kids.
Talk to me tell my viewers about what we just talked about you can lay the law down with them, but at the end of the day, I just saw a ton of kids coming up to you, and I can't get the footage of them giving you hugs. So you have the respect of all the kids from the schools that we went to. They all want to be around you, but at the same time, they know where you stand and what is expected of them.
Right, and it's all about just letting them know ahead of time what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. I mean, if they have the guidelines and the rules set in front of them and you hold them accountable each time they try to push those boundaries or whenever they don't meet those expectations, then they know that there's going to be a consequence. If you have empty threats or set guidelines and they don't follow and you just don't give them a consequence for it, then they know that they can push that boundary. And I think just knowing from the very beginning what's expected of them, and they will give you what you ask for if you allow them the opportunity. But at the same time, they're going to make mistakes. They're kids. They're learning, and just knowing that that's going to happen and be able to offer the forgiveness and just let them know that tomorrow's another day. We can do it again. We can start fresh, and one mistake doesn't define who you are. At the end of the day, some of us have to learn the hard way, and just acknowledging that and knowing that you're able to forgive and move forward, then I think that's important to them, and they know that they can get that from me.
Now, with your background in CPS, how does that help you relate to these children?
I think that experience in my life was extremely important because it gave me a chance to go behind the scenes from the standpoint of their homes. I know that some of them are from broken homes. I know that some of them are experiencing domestic violence or child abuse or neglect or just absence of parenting altogether, and being able to know who those kids are and what they've been through helps me better assist them in school and help them be more successful because I've seen it, I understand it, and I can help them learn from it and help them push forward to where they can grow and learn from those experiences and not repeat the cycle, I guess you should say.
So on a daily basis, you're influencing these children's lives. There was a young lady downstairs who was in 6th grade, and you had a really strong rapport with her. And actually, everybody who came up to you, you had a really strong connection with. And it seems to me that you are helping direct these children for their future. And not only are you helping them with feeling secure within their school and knowing that they can come to you with any issues, but you seem like a safe place where they have developed a relationship for building their future and asking you questions, and just that safe place for them, not just the security around the schools.
Right, and I think we can circle back to just building those relationships for one, and letting them know that one mistake doesn't define you, and letting them know that you can grow. I mean, everything we do on a daily basis, we build from, we learn from, and just being that source for them to say, okay, I get it, you've done this, but what can we do next time? And just allowing them to tell you what they can do better next time. I think a lot of us underestimate the intelligence of these kiddos. We treat them younger and more naive than they are. They're extremely smart, they're extremely bright, and just letting them know that you see that in them and give them the power to make better choices next time, and let them tell you what they can do better than just telling them what to do. I think whenever you tell kids what to do, they rebel. But if you ask them what they can do better, it empowers them. And I think empowering them is what's going to set them up for success, because at the end of the day, you're letting them make their own choices. So I think that's extremely important.
Thank you for watching this episode of Behind It All with Penny Harris, and going behind the scenes of a security officer. Now, if you have any questions, or if you have a story, or you have somewhere where I need to go behind it all, just send me a direct message. Guys, thanks for all your support and helping me shine a light in this dark world. And until next time, I'll see you behind it all.
Taking you? I do. I'd ask you to join me, but you're taller. You're taller. You make me look small. Can't have that.